Now, it is alleged that the chopper was stolen.
Look, it's been alleged, and now we can actually say for sure the company has admitted it was stolen, or misappropriated was the words that they've used. They've only just put a statement out, so I'll have to read some of the quotes to you. It's just come in the last 10 minutes or so. Now, we know the worker held a New Zealand pilot's licence, but had never flown in Australia, and as you mentioned, unlicensed here, therefore, to do so. Nautilus Aviation said the employee was recently promoted to that ground crew position at another base, and he was attending a send-off with colleagues on Sunday night before this Monday morning crash. Now, there'd been a lot of rumours on the ground that our reporters were hearing about a so-called party or some sort of send-off that we now know certainly did happen. Nautilus is saying it was not an official event, but they understand this individual was there. They're saying they will be leaving the release of the individual's details now to the QPS. The ABC has uncovered some photographs and identities, but we too won't be revealing anything until obviously QPS has to let family members know. There was even reminders this morning about asking the media to stop speculating about who this alleged pilot was because they were trying to track down families, and of course there was a lot of debris at this fiery scene, and they were trying to use forensic material to actually identify him. They want to make it clear to address rumours that they certainly did not condone any behaviour that may have happened at that party, and just want to make it clear that they are cooperating with all of the authorities at this point. Now, of course, a challenging time for everyone, and it really is looking a little bit at security as well. A lot of questions also remaining about how he actually gained access, Kath.
Yeah, well, on to the security. What are aviation experts saying about security at airports around the country?
Yes, we've spoken to a couple of different people today. Let's start with Doug Jury. He's an aviation expert. He says things like, this is a wake-up call to tighten security. He said, how could an unauthorised flight on a stolen aircraft go undetected? He says, of course, all these aircrafts have transponders on board, so he can only imagine or make the assumption that in this case the transponder perhaps was turned off. He also talks about how the world's airports probably need to look at this incident and take it seriously as a global threat, that if an employee who's a ground crew can so easily access allegedly an airport, get in through the hangar, take the chopper, get the keys, that this is something that really needs to be looked at, and maybe major upgrades of security at all airports need to be looked at. Just aviation experts in general are also today just saying how they just can't believe there wasn't more people injured or more fatalities. They were describing the room. You might have seen, Kath, the pictures of that room where the elderly couple were in. Part of the chopper, the rotor blade was thrown in there. He described that scene as catastrophic. So really just incredible that they were not injured, rushed to hospital. And we heard that the wife had no shoes on and there was glass everywhere, and they were just scrambling to try and sort of get out there safely. So it really is incredible. A lot of tourist vision, of course, we've also seen today. They've told us the hotel is closed. Quite a few of the tourists have left the scene. They were still quite frightened about what happened, and others have been relocated at this point. But investigation-wise, we now know that the helicopter's recording devices, they're not called black boxes, recording devices are now heading down to Canberra to be analysed. And, you know, they're just trying to go through the process now of what actually happened. They do have CCTV of this man entering the area. Apparently it's very dark and dingy, and they did struggle initially to try and confirm who this person was. But Cairns Airport has also put out a statement, apologies for reading yet again, just concerned about these comments about security. They wanted to make it clear that they had a multi-layered federal security program so that it was monitored. They also have said a review has been conducted showing no compromise of airport fence or access points. So that gets us back to the point that he had some sort of ID and security where he could get in through that area and not challenged, because he wasn't allegedly doing anything wrong, except it was 2 a.m. in the morning. So we're hearing a lot more about this story. Just incredible. I know you've holidayed there and so have I. I mean, that's such a high density area. Like, none of us can believe that it wasn't so much worse at this point.